Stream is back. It looks like Xtoff is going to win again. I haven't looked at Xtoff's list very carefully, or Holy Llama. I didn't test against anyone on the other side of the bracket from me. So if I end up in the third place game, it looks like I'll play Holy Llama, which is an interesting matchup because he's got 3 Thundersaurs, and I don't really have a great way to handle them. It's going to come down to, I think, a Thundersaur battle, which will be interesting because I don't usually play them all that much in these other matchups. So that'll be interesting. And then I'll have to figure out from there if I play against Xtoff in the finals. It's funny because when I looked at his deck, I was like, "Yep, I easily beat that deck." Like, I have Tarsus Deathweaver or Justicars. I have Gemhide Bashers. That's not going to be a problem. And then Table 1 told me it was a problem. And then now it looks like he's going to beat Holy Llama. So I think his deck will be a problem. It makes it even worse that I feel like I should win. So what that tells me is I don't have a great game plan for it, and so I'm definitely concerned about that match if I end up with that match. So I'm not going to say I'm hoping that I don't play him if he wins, because I want to play him. I want to be in the finals, but that will definitely be a very difficult match if I do end up against Xtoff. Yep, so it looks like Holy Llama is at 8. He looks to be in pretty big trouble here. Interesting epidemic. Now none of his guys die. I think he Tarsus Deathweavers here and just wins. So that's pretty funny. Apparently I'm now doing commentary as well on their game. But yeah, so it looks like Xtoff's got it, which is very interesting that Tarsus Deathweaver deck was able to win. I will admit that I didn't see that coming. I thought going into this event someone would play a Deathweaver deck. I thought there'd be maybe 5 in the field of 64. None would make the top 8 unless it got very lucky and got the right matchups. But apparently Xtoff's list and skill playing this list is better than I had given it credit for. Alright, so I'm going to minimize now the Forgewatch stream just in case they decide to do something awesome like do Bludex's send your invite and put your stream up. Okay. So it looks like I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I'm sending my invite out to Bludex. Jake and I just tested this a couple times. It went very well for me, actually. That doesn't mean that it will go very well in this matchup. Bludex is obviously extremely good at playing this deck. I listened to his interview, and he seemed to be saying that this was, the deck that is his specialty, and I really hate that. Oh, okay, there we go. So hard to offer challenges to people. Okay. I agree. I think Necria Mutera is stronger than Aloy Nutera. I actually think Aloy Nutera is stronger for the field, and I think for the head-to-head, I think Necrium is stronger. I think Cull is a very, very strong counter to Arc Flight and essentially counters everything the AU deck is trying to do. I think AU is better against the field, but I think NU is better in the matchup, in the mirror-ish matchup. matchup. All right. So here we go. I don't know if I'm supposed to start yet or not, but certainly have it up. And Bludex is ready to play. Dun 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 dun. Looks like we're gonna get this thing underway. So we'll see if Bludex can take me down. This is the really awesome part. If I lose my next 2 matches, I get 10,000 gold. That's pretty awesome. Top 4, 10,000 gold. I can be happy with that. Oh wow, I'm so happy to see that play by him. If I had gotten a good hand here, I would be doing very well. This is a very bad hand here, though. It's almost depressingly bad. Ah, that's so bad. These are all the cards I don't want right here, because the Bashers I need for my removal later. I really don't want to play one here. Wow, that's bad. All right, well, what do I do then? Oh, that's the worst. I guess I go Pasher Matrix Warden. And I'm doing Matrix Warden there. So the whole reason I played that turn was like that, was level the Basher. I really feel like he needs to be leveled. He can't be called now. He would have to be Dreadbolted. I don't think he wants to Dreadbolt a Basher. He could do something like Shock Epidemic. That was a really bad turn for me, and I played the Matrix Warden because then at least I get I could do a Weirwood buff on him, and I could do a Sentinel Blowout. I have both possibilities. This is a really hard choice. This would have been the turn 1 hand that I wanted. Now I have it here, and it's much more difficult. I could do something like Arc Flight in 5, Patriarch. I could just ignore Lyria, do Arc Flight Patriarch. I could do Sentinel 5 Patriarch. I have just endless options here, and they're all reasonably good. I'm already forgetting the other card he played somehow. Oh yeah, the Zemus. And that's the one Zemus he has, so I'm not that worried about him getting a level 3 Zemus. I feel like with just one in the deck, that's not a real valid concern for me. I think I'm going to do this route. Not sure this is the best play. It's a pretty good play for leveling purposes. That's a very good play for the board. I would have rather gone Weirwood Gargoyle there, I think. But now if he wants to trade them, if he wants to kill the Matrix Warden to buff Predator, he would have to play either a Spark, which I'm fine with, a Dreadbolt, which was more unfortunate, or like an Epidemic or something, which I'm also not that upset about. Alright, I'm looking at the chat real quick. Thanks for the kind wishes, guys. And we'll see what we can do. Bludex is thinking quite a bit for turn 3 here. I wonder what he's considering. Oh. He says, slow down a second. We are doing a giveaway. Well, I don't know that I can do that. So he's a 7. That's some interesting options here. I kind of like Thundersoar Roar. It would take me out of... it'd be hard for him to kill the Thundersoar. He could only do it with a Dreadbolt. He couldn't hit him with a Spark. But Tanimate is also a sort of reasonable option. But I don't think so. I mean, if I could kill him outright, I would do that. The nice thing about the Roar is that it lets the Patriarch live also. I think I'm going to do this. And then it kind of puts some pressure on him that he needs to actually pull removal. So we'll see if he can. So let's see what he's got. So we did a shock and a spark. So we'll see what he does. Does he kill the Thundersaur? Does he move out of the way? And if he just trades that Thundersaur, that's not so bad for me. That's kind of bad. I was hoping that would not be the angle that he was able to take. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I think I will... I mean, it's a choice between Sentinel and Patriarch in front of the Predator. And then I'll just go Gargoyle in 3. I'm not really worried about a level 1 Devourer running away just yet. I think I will actually level the Sentinel so that I have more blowout options against something like that Devourer. I think that's the only Devourer he played on level 1. He played a Zemus, a Predator, a Magma Hound, a Devourer, a Dreadbolt. Yeah, so I don't feel like he had a great level 1. It wasn't a bad level 1. Yeah, well, I guess if he's going to pull the one good card he leveled, then it is a very good level 1. So that helped pretty substantially, I think. Now I'm in a little bit of trouble here. I might even Dreadbolt, just simply because I don't have a really good answer otherwise. Not Dreadbolt, Botanimate. I don't think I have a good play here is the problem. I guess I could go Battle Tactician and then drop Weirwood down. Maybe in front of the Predator. Do 6 to it. The Tactician is out of Cull range. He didn't level a Cull. So then I'm taking 20 from the Devourer, which is not exciting. I could block the Devourer. He would only move to an 11. I think I will do that. Alright, I like the Thundersaur here. He only has the one Dreadbolt to handle him. So I can conceivably put him in front of the Devourer. Interesting. And General. And then he would eat the Devourer. I'm falling way behind here though. Way behind. I'm definitely in big trouble in this one. His Predator would become a 17, which would definitely let him eat the Thundersaur. But the Thundersaur actually would not kill even that Predator. That's really a problem. Yeah, I think he might have this one. Especially since Zemus is coming back. That's a real issue. I think what I do is just kill Devour and put Thundersaur in front of the Predator. And then he has to Dreadbolt. And will Dreadbolt work? Yeah, Dreadbolt would work. So if he Dreadbolts, then he pretty much wins outright. Even if he doesn't Dreadbolt, he's got a pretty large lead. So I'll do this. I think I'll move the Gargoyle over to handle the Magma Hound. And then question becomes here, what do I want to level? I can kill that Devourer with literally any card on the board, or any card in my hand. So what would I rather see in player level 3? I don't think General is what I would rather see. A Basher could be very useful, but a Tactician could also be very useful. I think I'll go with the Tactician as being slightly more useful. But, second thought, the General will let me trade out that Lyria also. So I am going to go with the General. I'm going to go with the board now rather than the leveling, because there is a slight advantage there. Alright. Let's definitely run away with this one. I'm going to have to try to find a way to stabilize. I think for him his best move is just move Predator over, hit me for 23. I don't think I have a really good response to him just hitting me for 23. I'm actually not that unhappy with that play. And I think I go Thundersoar 1 in front of Devourer. He would have to go Epidemic Cull to take him out because he never played a Cull. I take out his Zemus. And yes, he pops and does 10 next turn, but if he has a really bad hand, I could be okay. I guess an Epidemic here is really bad for me, actually. I didn't think about that carefully enough, I guess. I will have good old Senior Blowout to take out that Devourer, and the Patriarch to take out Zemus. So it's really going to depend on what he plays here. If he gets stuck with like a Lyria 1 and a Predator 1 or something, then I might be able to stabilize. If he's able to drop a Devourer 2 and I'm not sure what else, something else great, then I could be in some trouble. Alright, looks like I might get, oh, okay, yep, that's pretty good. I still stabilize a little. The problem is he does quite a bit of damage to me in the process. Alright. Oh, wow. It's a really good hand. The problem is it really depends on what he does. Because if he doesn't... No? Okay. So actually it's just flat out a good hand. Since I can buff that Thundersoar by 10, he has nothing in his deck that can kill the Thundersoar right out. I mean, no removal spells. So if I can find some way to have that Thundersoar live, and like even if he puts out a Devourer 2 or something, I might, oh man, that was a really fortunate play for him. He only has that one Zemus in his entire deck, and he just pulled it, and I think that's game. Ooh, that was a big pull. I guess it didn't matter that much. Pretty much anything he pulled was going to be pretty bad. But certainly that should do it. I'm looking at the board. I don't think there's any way I stop this from being a loss. I have to block 3 lanes somehow. And it's not happening. I only have 18 on board, 28 with the Matrix Warden, 32 with the General. It's not going to be enough to kill him. Yep. Looks like he's got me. Alright. Well, that's game 1. It's really hard for me just to say that's game 1. I'm continuing to look. There's obviously nothing. I have to block 3 lanes with 2 guys. If that Zemus actually was something less than 5 health, 5 attack, I would live. And I might even win, because I have such a good hand right now. But doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Well, good game there, Bludex. Got me. See if I can get the next one. It was a lot closer than it looked. 70-5 is clearly a drubbing, but I was actually much more in that game than the 75. I was very close actually to stabilizing there. And he was able to somehow get both Zemus, the one copy of Zemus on both 2 and 3, which was pretty good. That helped him quite a bit. What scares me there, though, is that felt like a pretty reasonable chance for me. He didn't do a lot of incredibly scary things, and I still lost that one, so that's kind of upsetting. I would have rather, like in the first game I lost, in the last game, in the last round, I just got crushed. I mean, he played like 7 Devourers over a very short period of time. Why am I playing Paladin? Did I not do Friend? I don't know what that is. So let's actually create the game properly now. There we go. Alright, I don't know what this Paladin game is, but we're going to resign that game. You're welcome, Paladin. You got 58 silver. Thanks. It looks like I might need it. Oh yeah, that's right. I had that crazy bad start last game. That was difficult. Okay, so again, 5 cards I don't want to start the game with. So this is a bit unnerving twice in a row to start with both of my removal. Like, these are critical cards. I can't have them in my hand turn 1. 2 games in a row, I got all my removal right out of the gate. So this could go very similar to the last game. I'm actually really upset about that. That twice in a row, the exact same ridiculously bad luck happened. So I don't like that. Hopefully we can recover from that, but that could be one of those that loses the game kind of situations. So we'll have to see. Because the Bashers are very critical for this deck, and not being able to get any of them is going to be a problem. Let's see here. I like doing Tactician Weirwood. I think the better choice, though, might be Weirwood Sentinel. It puts more pressure on him, because now I have 3 guys on board his 1, so I'm going to do that. I mean, it does let him do something like move over a call, but he has oodles of removal, so I can't really play around one versus the other. Like, if I had stuck Sentinel in the middle and done Patriarch, I guess I could have done that in 5, and then for him to have removed that Sentinel, since it would have been a 5/7, it would have been sort of challenging. But I would have had to give up the Matrix Warden to do it. So I kind of like this, that now there's pressure on the board. So we'll see. Okay, so he's definitely leveling very good cards. He leveled a Zemus, a Devour, and a Predator right out of the gate. So that's definitely going to be a future problem for me. Question now becomes, how do I handle the Predator best? I can, of course, just kill him outright with Matrix Warden. And I think I'd do that. I think I'll go Gargoyle in the middle, kill the Predator with Matrix Warden. This way, if he doesn't come up with an answer for the Gargoyle, he'll be able to move around and do nasty things. like this Bright Steel Blowout. And it'll be pretty cool because I can do the double Bright Steel Blowout. And so if this Gargoyle lives, potentially, I mean, I don't think this is going to work because this Sentinel's going to die and that Devourer is going to grow. But if that weren't to have happened, I could do some cool things. Ooh, that scares me. Dreadbolt 1? Dreadbolt 1 would be bad. Dreadbolt 1. Yep, that's, I don't know. This is going to be really tough now. I think that opening just put me too far behind a second time in a row. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to recover. I was hoping I would, but he's put all good cards down, and I've put a lot of bad cards down. So I feel like I'm losing on the board and losing in the deck as well, which is not how you beat this deck. And in all the test games I won against this deck, I came out fairly quickly, which is more normal than the start I've had this game. I'd say the norm is for me to come out quickly. It's more of the aberration to have the bad start. And that's what makes this deck so good is the flexibility of the starts that it gets. But we are not going to give up. Certainly not this early. I think I go Battletech, Sentinel, and do some damage. So in theory, depending on what he does, I'll probably go Battle Tactician in front of his Phoenix, pump it with a Weirwood. This is assuming this Tactician in 3 lives. If the Tactician in 3 dies, then I'll have to probably play a Tactician in 3. He has to have a Cull to do it, which he may. I'm having a hard time with him because he's not being forced to play removal spells. Normally, in my test games, because I get out Arc Flight into Weirwood, which is the norm, he's forced to play a lot of removal. In this game, he's just playing awesome cards to the board, and that's a real problem. All right, so he did that. So that is also a problem. So now I have to go Tactician, Weirwood, and kill the Devourer and take a ton more damage, and it just is continuing to spiral. And so now if he can play the good cards he's leveled, like a Zemus 2 and a Devourer 2, I think he'll have this one. We'll see. Maybe he'll have a bad hand, and then my bad hand will be okay. Yes, Bludex has 3 Dreadbolts. Bludex has all the removal in the world, so you can't play around any one removal. When I was playing against Dark Soul, I was much more able to play around the fact that he only had that 1 Dreadbolt. Everything other than that, I was pretty easily able to handle. It's interesting having these lists out ahead of time so that both of us, I'm sure, have played these matchups. And so, like, I've seen both sides of this. You know, I've seen this particular result where he just steamrolls me because I don't get things, and then he's able to play his removal and just crushes me. And then I've seen the other side. So it's kind of fun to watch as this game unfolds which direction it goes, because we've seen all the sides, and I'm sure he has too. And so he's knowing, like, okay, I have a huge advantage here. I didn't have to play a lot of removal. I was able to get all my good cards leveled. Let's see. What is that? I think I go... That's kind of a hard choice. If I play Arc Flight here, a Spark kills him, and a Dreadbolt 1 kills him, which is a lot of cards in his deck. And he doesn't do that much for me. He's popping out an under-leveled robot. I could also level the Basher, but if I'm going to level the Basher, I want to do it on the Phoenix, which maybe is what I should do. Just kill the Phoenix, then play Tactician. But what I could do is play Tactician and get a second guy on the board, which would help me recover this board. The problem is these are not the cards I want here. If it was a Sentinel or a Gargoyle or any other number of cards, I think it would be a better choice. So he's going to be a 7/4. So I need to do a quick little bit of research. I didn't track this well enough. So he has played removal-wise that Magma Hound. So he's got... sorry, it's going to take a moment for me to go through this. So he has a Hound 1. He played 2 Shock 1s and a Dreadbolt 1. And then he played a Shock 2, a Dreadbolt. Wow, that's unfortunate. So he hasn't even played that Dreadbolt 2 yet. So Shock 2, Dreadbolt 1, and an Epi 1. Alright, so that means when I'm making this play, I know he does have the Dreadbolt 2 in his deck, and he has a Hound 2. So if I block with the Tactician thinking I've got a guy living, he could in theory just Hound it and completely undo that. So if that's the case, maybe it's better, since all these cards are bad, to go Basher and then Tactician, and then he has a hard time taking out the Tactician. So I'm going to do that. I don't like this play, but I feel like with all the removal options he has, I need to have something stay on the board for a moment. So I'm going to do that. Don't necessarily like that play. Well, there's that Hound 2 that I was worried about. So that ended up being probably the right play. The Devourer is going to become an 11/9, which is frightening. I think I put in front of him... I think I'm going to go the Sentinel in front of him, buffing the Sentinel. And I really need to make sure that Devourer dies. And then at that point, the only thing killing him is that Dreadbolt 2. And if he pulls it, then I am going to be in some trouble. So I just basically have to hope he doesn't pull his Dreadbolt 2 here. If he doesn't, I'm doing okay. Maybe, depending on what he plays. Especially if he plays something in front of the Matrix Warden, like say a Predator 2, like if he goes Predator 2 and then some random card that's not brutal to me, then I could conceivably go Sentinel 2, Matrix Warden, the Matrix Warden, trade whatever he put in front of the Matrix Warden, it lives. I end up with 3 dudes to his 1. That could be really good. So we'll see. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's 2 games in a row where he found his only copy of Zemus. It's a little bit upsetting. Let's see. I think what I do is go Sentinel 5 and then figure out where Zemus pops and then play the Matrix Warden accordingly. I'm torn as to whether I want to block or not. I could theoretically play Bright Steel actually in front of the Devourer. The Devourer would only be an 8. So he would have to come up with some sort of removal. So I think I will do that. It's not quite as much pressure on him, but I am way behind. I'm not sure I can be the pressure guy right now, as much as I would like to. He pops there. Not sure who to buff with this Matrix Warden. That's what it's coming down to. I don't think it's worth buffing to Devour. He could play an Epi 1, taking me down to 7. I would still kill him. If I buff him, then he can Dreadbolt him. Right now, he would have to find Shock plus Dreadbolt. So I think he's going to have. I think I need to play him there and not buff him. I think I'll buff the other Matrix Warden. And do I block the Zenith? I think I have to. Don't like where this game is going though. I feel like I'm slipping and sliding farther and farther behind here. It's certainly not the hand I wanted on 3.1. Yeah, that was certainly a concern. It was figuring out what I would rather see. All right, so that should win. I don't have a way to come back from that. Not with this hand. So we got to see. We only got to see the bad side for me. Both games in a row, I had the bad start, which is unfortunate. I would have liked to have at least one game where we were a little more even footing, but that did not happen. I guess it's not game, but it's game. Alright, so if it's not game, do I care about who I'm leveling? No, it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, so that's how this matchup works. It tends to be either if I get the quick start, I do well. If I get a medium start, I do okay. If I get the worst start I could possibly have, it becomes really hard to claw back in this matchup. And Bludex is a very good player, so he's not going to make terrible mistakes to let me claw back into it. So I have to have the right draws. I mean, this is pretty good. The problem is it's just too late. He's going to hit me for 22 with the Phoenix. There's going to be 10 more with the breakthrough or whatever we're calling it, the additional damage. Even if I kill him with the Sentinel plus Matrix Warden, that's going to take me down to 22. And if he has anything else, that should just do it. Yeah, maybe I spoke too soon. That's certainly best case scenario for me. So maybe I have a chance. I mean, I'm at 15, so it's unlikely. But if he drew the worst hand in the history of man, maybe I would have a chance. But I mean, he already had a bad hand last turn, so the odds of him having two ridiculous hands in a row are rather slim. I certainly won't be complaining if he doesn't have a bad hand. I mean, he already had the bad hand, and I had a good hand, and that just wasn't enough. It was just the 2.4 Phoenix was really the backbreaker. I mean, he had a big lead before that anyway, so it's not like the pulling the Jake won the game or anything. It was already pretty much a one game, but that was definitely a backbreaker. And that, I think, wins. No, it doesn't, because he won't have anywhere he can move, because the Phoenix is in the way. So I'm still not dead on board yet, because I'll be able to go. Okay. Still not dead on board. Can't move out of the way. If I box him in here, and then I kill the Phoenix. I mean, it's really close to dead on board, right? Because he's got a million spells. So as long as he doesn't draw a single useful card, I might have a chance in this one. The other problem is I'm going to have to move the Gargoyle over now to kill that Phoenix, because I can't have it pop a second time. That would be a real problem. All right. Whoa, that's really smart. That's game. Good job, man. Well played, Bludex. Yeah, I really thought after both of those starts that it was going to be exceedingly tough. That's my testing has shown that. That's not a, oh, I got a bad draw. That's bull. It's just more, extensive testing shows that if I don't get any good cards at the start and can't put that early pressure on, then Bludex has a pretty big advantage if he's able to draw anything. So good job, Bludex. I picked you to win it all, and apparently my pick wasn't too far off. So we'll see if you can take it down. So it looks like the third, fourth game will probably start pretty soon, and I get Holy Llama. And this is going to be a completely different game than the other two games have been. The other two games were Arc Flights are a liability, Thunder Swords are really difficult to keep on the board with all the removal. This game is going to be the total opposite. Get Arc Flights to the board, get those Thunder Swords to the board. Whoever sticks their Thunder Sword better is going to win. I haven't actually play tested this really, but I still think that is how it's going to play out. Alright, so I'm not sure when the game 3 is going to start. I'm going to say this. I hate game 3-4 matches. I absolutely despise them. I lost. I'm out. I don't want to play anymore. That's how I feel when I lose. I think a game 3-4 is really cool for streaming purposes, right? It's more coverage. It's cool for the event. It allows more prize distribution. But I hate 3-4 matches. To me, it's like, all right, here's a pointless game in which if I win, I don't win. If I lose, I already lost. But I'm going to still try to beat Holy Llama. We'll see what we can do. I'm going to ask them if it's starting soon. All right. Yeah, I mean it was a tough break for me. Bludex played it really well, but it is hard. Like I said, those early draws in that particular matchup. Some matchups aren't quite as tied to the early draws. But in that matchup, it really is tied to those early draws. 2 games in a row, I got the Bashers in the opening hand, and the Bashers are critical in that matchup because they are my removal pieces that I'm planning to play later in the game. Now they're under-leveled when I'm seeing them later. That was really bad. And not getting the board presence pieces. Like if I get Arc Flights and Gargoyles and such on that opening draw or Weirwoods, then he has that pressure on him. I have to respond and do something really good here. If that doesn't happen, then he falls behind. But instead, I just basically was with the draws that I got. It was more like, here you go, man. If you don't have anything, then I'm fine. But I'm not putting any pressure on you. So go ahead and take it away and do whatever you want to me, essentially. And that I didn't really like. But like I said, that doesn't take anything away from Bludex. He has to continue to play well. If Bludex plays badly, then it opens windows for me. But Bludex is a very good player. He knows that deck very well. And that's one of the reasons why I was so worried with those opening bad hands, that a good, Bludex being really good is going to be able to take advantage of that. In the constructed queue or something, I wouldn't be nearly as worried with that start. I would be more thinking like, well, that's a terrible start. but it's a long game. I should be able to recover. But knowing Bludex's deck and his skill level, that's where it becomes that issue of it's really hard to recover with that being the case. Alright. So let's see how we do with Holy Llama. The holiest of all the llamas. We'll see if you can... I think this should be a fun... I guess I shouldn't say fun, because mirrors are rarely fun. But I think it should be a very interesting game. As it's really going to come down to who sticks these patriarchs, not patriarchs, the Thunder Soars, and he has the advantage there, and that he has 3 and I only have 2. But then I have the advantage on the other side that I have the Botanamates to handle a runaway Thundersaur, and he doesn't. But then he has the advantage because he has Mossbeard Patriarchs to keep his alive. So I'm actually looking forward to this matchup. God darn it! I went into the queue again. So many free wins. Now I'm going into the tournaments. Alright, apparently I'm just tilting right now and clicking random buttons. I'm sure to win this 3-4 match. Oh, wow. Alright. Here we go. I think I'm going to take a second and walk around. I didn't realize how bad that was tilting until I started clicking random buttons. So I'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, back. Probably still tilting. Hopefully to the point where I can actually click buttons correctly. I don't think I'll be able to find Holy Llamas in my extensive list of people. So hopefully he's not in my list. I don't remember the last time I played Holy, so he might not be. Here we go. So Holy Llama is somebody that... I haven't talked much to Bludex, if ever, so yeah, I'm sure he's a great guy. But I know for sure Holy Llama is. I've actually talked to him pretty extensively, and he's a cool guy. So if he wins, you know, no problem. Good for him. It's only the 3-4 match, so I'll be trying hard to win, but we'll see. So this is a fun. I'm gonna bring you guys behind the curtain a little bit here. Right before we started, Jake and I played 2 games, and Jake was playing Bludex's deck, and I crushed him into oblivion both times with, you know, reasonable starts. Not amazing starts, but good, solid starts that I need to have to win. And I told him, you know, this is going to backfire now. Like, these are my good starts. These are the cards I would have had I played Bludex these 2 games. And now, most likely, I'm going to get 2 terrible starts. And then I did. So it's funny how that works. I'm not superstitious, so I'm going to assume that's not why that happened. But it is It's interesting how the world works sometimes like that. You think, should I have done those test games? Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Alright, either way, let's get this going. Good luck to Holy Llamas. So, we'll see how it goes. Alright. I think his name is Holy Llama, not Holy Llamas. I actually don't know his name. I thought it was Holy Llama. Yeah, okay, it is. Alright, here we go. The Battle of the Thunder Swords. That's what this matchup is going to be called. Not to mention the Arc Blades. Alright, so I had a Basher, I had a big smile, and played my Basher. I don't. So now he's going to get a free robot. I'm actually not really sure how to play this matchup. I don't think gargoyles are quite as important in this matchup. I think I would rather just buff some dudes, play the board, get those weirwoods leveled. Alright. So I'll get the Sentinel Blowout on the Arc Flight, which is good. Maybe even do something like Matrix Warden on that Battle Tactician, depending on what he does. If he plays a Thunder Sword here, this would be a pretty good spot for me for him to play the Thunder Sword, because then I could buff, if he puts it in 3 or 1, I could buff it with the Matrix Warden and then put it fairly close to death and hopefully be able to handle it before it runs wild. But I do have to remember he's playing 3 cards here, so that could be tough. Alright, so what you got, Holy? Alright, that's a good spot for a Thundersaur. Especially if he can do that and then Roar also, since he has 3 plays. Or do that. That works also. So now it puts a lot of pressure on me that that Thundersaur could actually run away with the game before I can really get a hold of it. All his dudes are out of range of me killing him. That was a pretty solid play, I think. So I'm definitely going to go Sentinel 5, blow out the Patriarch. I'm considering playing the Matrix Warden in front of the Thundersaur, which I think would be a terrible idea. I think I just have to ignore it and hope to find an answer for it fairly rapidly. I think probably the right play is to go Tactician 5, Matrix Warden 4, buffing the Patriarch. I have a pretty good board. He basically has a Thundersaur. And he can turn around and Sentinel blow me out on my Matrix Warden, but that's not the end of the world. Alright, so I'll probably just Thundersaur in front of his Thundersaur. He'll hit me for 5, that'll bump him up to a 7. Then when we come back around, he'll kill me, I'll kill him without buffs. And that might blow up in my face, but that's probably where we're going. I can't let him completely sit there. I'll have to find an answer. And I'm definitely playing the Thundersaur. Like I said, this is definitely going to be the battle of the Thundersaurs. If one of us gets a runaway Thundersaur, they win. Much more so him even with the Mossbeard. So I have to be very careful about him not getting a runaway Thundersaur. Oh, so it is my turn. I missed what he did. I clicked away. So he went Sentinel, Roar, and got the blowout. Yep, that was smart. This puts me in a tough spot because I could go Gargoyle, Sentinel, blowout on his Matrix Warden. The problem is I'm not putting my own Thundersaur to the board. I'm not dealing with his Thundersaur. I mean, I basically have 2 Botanimates for him, so if I don't draw a Botanimate pretty soon, I'm most likely just going to lose to that Thundersaur. But I'm just going to go all in on that strategy. I mean, that's why the Botanimates are in there. They're in there specifically to handle him. If I don't find him, then I guess so be it. But so the real question is do I go Gargoyle, Thundersaur in one, or Gargoyle, Sentinel? I think in this game I'm going to go for board control. Thundersaur is certainly the scarier play. The problem is the Sentinel's probably going to trade off with the Thundersaur. This is the... Ah, man, that's really frustrating. So I have the 2 Botanimates in here specifically for this matchup. It is the only reason they're in this deck. The only reason. And we went through the entire player level and I didn't see either of them. So that's definitely frustrating. So if he can, continue to buff that Thundersaur, he should be able to run away with it. If he can't, and he can only keep it at 7, maybe I'll be able to do something where I race him a little bit. We'll have to see what he's able to do. Because if he has to trade off, I guess he's probably going to end with Thundersaur and a card on table against my 2 cards on table, which is not exactly racing. That's just playing some cards on my part. So I think I'm just falling a little bit behind here. That was really good too. So that was a tough one. I still think I just have to be all in and get my Botanimate. If I don't see the Botanimate, then I think I'm gonna have to just say, oh well, because that is the strategy. Let's see. Do I play the Weirwood? I think I'm gonna play the second Arc Flight, and yeah, I won't have it leveled, the Weirwood leveled, but this is gonna let me get a couple cards leveled here because I'm still all in on that Botanimate. Okay, no Botanimate. That's alright. We're just going to continue down this path of disaster. On the plus side, if he can't kill the Technician or buff the Thundersaur, which is somewhat unlikely on level 2, I can go Warden plus buff is 13, plus Tactician buff is 15, plus Roar is 17, and actually kill the Thundersaur. So I do have a potential out. I mean, it's a lot of hoping and dreaming involved, but sometimes you gotta hope and dream. So let's do this thing. Hopefully he strikes out here, which I hate to say that. I don't like to say I hope my opponent gets a bad hand, but in this particular spot I think I need to root for that. I think what I will do if that plan doesn't work, which I don't think it will, I think he'll have some answer. I think I'll end up having to put the Warwalker in front of the Thundersaur unbuffed, just to eat a little bit of damage, not buff him too much, and still be all in on the, where is my Botanimate strategy. The real problem with not seeing the one-on-one, in addition to taking an absurd amount of damage from this Thundersaur, is I have no answer to a Thundersaur 2. If he just goes like Thundersaur 2 buff, that Thundersaur is going to be a major problem. So we'll see what he does. Because if he doesn't do anything really scary here, I might be okay. And that was pretty much the dream scenario for me, actually. Couldn't have gone any better than that. I won't get the 2. but I will get to kill the Thundersaur. So let's see, 8 plus 5 is 13, 15 Roar takes him out. So I go like this. Then the question becomes, what else? I think I want to play the Gargoyle in front of the Arc Flight. And then I Roar. Battle, and I don't think I overwrite. I think I just discard the Warwalker. I don't really like the Warwalker. It's a decent card, but it's not usually that useful. So I was able to emerge from that. We'll have to see what he's able to do, because he's got a lot of possibilities for Sentinel blowouts on my squadrons, because he's got an extra robot with his. If he plays a Thundersaur 2, it'll be kind of difficult. But if he doesn't have a good hand here, especially if he has a bad hand here, this game could slip away for him. So this is a very big moment in the game. And that Matrix Warden in the last matchup against Bludex, I would have been terrified that he was going to die in a million different ways. But Holy doesn't actually have, the type of cards in his deck that can easily handle that Matrix Warden, so he'll be able to push through damage. Alright, so both of my Matrix Wardens are dead, which is fairly sad. But I think I just go Gargoyle over, Tactician in the middle, Gargoyle in 4. Take out those pesky Arc Flights. Mainly so he's not getting the under-leveled Sentinel blowouts. And now, he has to handle the Matrix Warden. He can handle it with a lot of things, but I've got this Gargoyle that will be able to move around and do some stuff. I guess he could move over and kill it if he wants to. So he could potentially move over his Gargoyle, play something in front of the Matrix Warden, block the Tactician, and then at that point he might have the advantage, actually. So we'll have to see how it works out. I do have this Arc Flight 2, which hopefully I can use to get an extra robot out of. And that's, this is, like I said, it's a totally different experience than the game before. The only actual removal he has is 2 Gemhide Bashers. Oh, there's one of them. So he got the Sentinel blowout. That's good for him. I will be able to kill... Okay, so he moves the Gargoyle. That's the obvious move. Which means that my Arc Flight dies. That's the real problem there. There's nowhere I can put this Arc Flight where it will actually live. So it becomes, is there anything I would like to level here? I can play anything I want in front of his Patriarch and trade. I can't have anything live. I think I have to put Arc Flight in 5 and then hope it trades. And then I think I want to level... Plays a Sentinel. Do I care about the Matrix Warden? I think I would rather level a Patriarch at this point. Alright. So he's fairly low. A really good hand here would have given me a good shot. A bad hand here is a little bit dicey. So it's going to depend on what he plays here. I'm just assuming he's going to move over and trade off that Arc Flight, but that's the best case scenario. He very well could go Sentinel 2 and blow me out. I haven't been tracking close enough whether he has another Sentinel 2 in his deck. So we'll see how he plays this. This is another fairly big moment. If he has a ridiculously bad hand, it could be okay. If he has a really good hand, because my hand is only marginal, it could swing it. So it's going to be an interesting moment. I will get a Bright Steel Blowout. It all depends on whether... Okay, I was assuming he was going to take out that Tactician. If he had not, things would be very good for me right here. Because I could just go Basher, take out his Squadron, and then Sentinel. But instead, I think what I'll do is stick a Thundersaur in front. And blow him out. Ooh, wow, that's a fantastic hand. That's a 3.1 hand that you dream about at night. Because if he doesn't do anything interesting, I get to go Weirwood, buffing the Thundersaur, and Gargoyle. And yes, he'll have an extra robot, but it's an under-leveled robot. He can't Sentinel blow me out right here. This could be a fairly swingy play for me, so we'll see. I'll have to see what he does here. But if I am able to do Weirwood, buff the Thundersaur, kill his Arc Flight while doing Breakthrough and living, the Thundersaur would end my turn at 14. That's a lot of Breakthrough that he's doing. A Bright Steel here would be a problem for me. Then I wouldn't really get the... actually, Bright Steel doesn't do anything. So that's cool, because the Thundersaur is not hitting him anyway, so Bright Steel's not a problem. The one moment where he actually has a robot active, or Bright Steel doesn't do anything. So I like that. Alright, I like that a lot. Not sure what he could do about that. So what is he going to play? All he did was just battle. Let's see, so he's probably not... Oh, okay, yeah, the roar would come after the battle, so he could roar here. Okay, well, he could do that. So that's terrifying. That's too bad. Oh, wow, okay, so he had a very similar hand to what I have. Similar being exactly, plus he gets another card. So, well, it looks for that brief moment like I was in business. I'm not at all in business, and I think that probably is going to be enough for him, because I can't even kill the Arc Flight now. Unless I don't play the Gargoyle 3, which would be madness. Wow, that was a really swingy turn for him. I thought I had it locked up with my draw, and he got the same draw. That's too bad. I guess I have to do this. Alright, I'll do that. I do potentially do a ton of damage with the Thundersaur. Like if he doesn't do anything about that. I mean, he could... I think the pro play would be to overwrite the Squadron with a Basher if he has it in hand. If he does that, then I would be in a lot of trouble. If he doesn't do that, I might actually be okay if he can't make that Matrix Warden live. Because at this point I would do 16 with a Thundersaur, making it so I only have to do 15 more. I have the Gargoyle in hand, or on board doing 16, who can move to any of these free lanes. I mean, there's going to be so many open lanes after we battle, even with his Arc Flight. I can move to any of them. I could actually push through the win here, depending on what he does. So, let's see. Okay. That didn't do enough. He can fill... Oh, actually that does do enough. All he has to do is fill lane 1, and he's fine. Yeah. That's too bad. Darn. And now he moves the Gargoyle for the win. So if I could buff by 6, I would win. I can only buff by 3 with that Matrix Warden. So many cards in this deck that could have won this turn. Of course, I have no way to remove my own Patriarch to move the Gargoyle over to that spot. Is there anything tricky I can do? His Gargoyle is a 26, so I can't kill him. I can kill anyone else I want. With this Gargoyle, plus Sentinel means no damage. Let's see. Do I care about the Patriarch? That's really what the question is. So I don't want to move the Gargoyle all the way to 1 because then it makes his life easier. He can actually kill that Patriarch, trade, and be fine. Whereas right now, he can't actually trade the Patriarch. So I think I don't know what to do. That's the real bottom line here. I think what I need to do is set it up so that I don't get Bright Steel Blowout, and then I can move my guys to the empty lanes. So if I go Sentinel 1, Gargoyle, I think Gargoyle stays where he's at. Maybe not. Maybe I move over to the middle, kill the Tactician, play the Squadron, I guess, in 4. He won't be able to kill the Squadron because the Tactician will be dead. He would have to roar to kill it, stay alive. He'll be down to 6. That might not be a smart play though. Putting him down to 6 with an arc flight on the board is probably a bad idea. I think instead I should do the Matrix Warden so that he's doing 6. With that strategy, I am taking 23 from the Gargoyle and losing. Seems like a bad strategy. I think what I need to do then is go Bright Steel 3, Sentinel, or sorry, Gargoyle 3. Sentinel will have to go. I guess I'll put him in 4 and put the Warden in 2. That will let him do 2 damage. No, because he's gonna. Yeah, so as long as I don't kill that, I need to leave the Patriarch up, is what it comes down to. So that way, that lane is always full. You can't move anyone over there. Oh, wow. This is a tough turn. Sorry I'm taking so long, but it really is a tough call. And I almost made a game-ending blunder there. Yeah, so I'm going to do it like this. Hopefully I trade stuff. And if he moves away from the Matrix Warden, I'll be doing the 6 for the kill. Alright, and the Patriarch only does 1, so I don't care. So he has to block the Patriarch. He has to live through that block as well. Because otherwise I'm going to have open lanes with which to win. Hopefully that play wins. But it is level 3, so you could come up with some cool stuff. Because he is going to be able to, I mean, I guess I'm not really thinking about this. So he is going to be able to kill that Matrix Warden with the Gargoyle, move him to block somebody. So he has to put one guy in front of Weirwood before battle. But the problem is he'll have to deal with, yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to push through to one of the open lanes. Okay, so he's going to do it like that. So now he doesn't have quite enough for the Sentinel blowout. Oh, duh, my guys are not attacking, of course. That was kind of ridiculous of me. Yeah, so does that lose for me? These guys are on the defensive. Yeah, that loses. Because he's going to have an empty lane to go to when my Matrix Warden dies. I have to have a way to remove his Matrix Warden. I obviously don't. I can play my Thundersaur, but that doesn't really do anything. Actually, no, I think I do have an answer here. I go Thundersaur in 3 and something else in 2, and then he can't move that gargoyle anywhere actually. Oh no, he can move him to 3, but it won't be. He can't move him into 5. Oh, he can, because what he can do is go gargoyle moves to 4, other gargoyle moves to 5. That's funny. Killing that Bright Steel Sentinel is actually going to be a problem for me. So, crazy plan. Overwrite Sentinel with Thundersaur, Thundersaur. The problem with that plan, of course, is the gargoyle has armor, so I won't be able to push through the breakthrough. Do I have a better play than that? That's such a terrible play, but if I kill that Sentinel, actually the lanes won't be open, because I can just go, nope, yeah, because that Warden's going to die, and his Warden is going to live, so I actually get to go Thundersaur, Thundersaur in the other 2 lanes, and I'm okay. Problem is he'll be able to do 9 damage and then be, I mean, some buffs would kill me, but I think that's how I have to do it. If I go like Tactician to kill that guy, that would actually lose me the game. So yep, I think that's just the way to do it. Block all the lanes. So who do I want to put where? Since they're all going to be blocked, he won't actually be able to move at all. No, he will. He'll still be able to adjust with the Sentinel. So it doesn't really matter where I put the Thundersaurs, because he will be able to adjust to them. So given that's the case, I think I'll put this one here and this one here. Alright, so he does 9. If he can find 6 more, he wins. He can also just go like, well, he can't go battle. He can stick something in front of the Sentinel, battle, kill that Thundersaur, move his gargoyle over, and my hand is not. I don't think my hand is going to let me win this one. I think he would have to make a blunder here to not win. Looking at the chat now, so you guys are saying I made a mistake. I should have killed gargoyle, then moved to 3, would have left up board space. I don't know when that was. I'll have to look back on the game. I might have made a mistake. I don't think I'm playing particularly well right now. I will admit I am still tilting a bit. That was perfect. The perfect play to win the game. Alright, good job, man. That's game 1. Let's see what we can do with game 2. Alright. Let's see. Slagle issued me a challenge. Alright. So did Chax. Slagle issued me another challenge. I'm not sure who Slagle is, but this dude really wants to challenge me. Alright. In this matchup, I'm just going to go Thundersaur. I would much rather play Thundersaur in front of a guy, but he has no way to handle the Thundersaur other than ignoring him. And if he ignores him, half my deck is buff, so that doesn't work that well. Well, he did the same thing, though. And he was probably saying the same thing. Half my deck is buff, go ahead, try to ignore him. So I think we're going to play the ignoring Thundersaur game. But I do get mine up pretty quickly. I think I'm just going to go double Weirwood. Reason being that now that the Thundersaur is permanently buffed rather than the temporary buff, having him do something and then unbuffing him. Remember, he does not have a Botanimate, so if I can run that Thundersaur to a ridiculous level quickly, he should win. I mean, maybe not to level 1, but certainly if I can get a level 2. But I'm quite tempted here to do something like Botanimate his Thundersaur and then Roar and push my Thundersaur up to a point where, in order for him to be removed, a lot of damage was going to go through. The Holy played the end of that game well. I felt like I had a chance there, and Holy really shut that down. So that was well done by him. Okay, I actually love seeing a Matrix Warden. So I get to live. Well, okay, that's kind of annoying. He would need 7 though, so. But he does have the Gargoyle there. But he is only a 1 defense. So it really is a tough question. If I go Botanimate Roar, I get to do a lot of damage with that Thundersaur. But he will die to the Gargoyle. He'll only be exactly 8. So he'll have just enough to kill him. So that makes me wonder if maybe that isn't the right move. Because I could do something like Gargoyle. I could play Basher. I don't think I want to play Basher because I think either way he's going to have to move over this Gargoyle and kill this Thundersaur. I don't think he's going to be able to ignore him. I'll still be a 6 on player level 1. He'd have to get like Matrix Warden with his buff or something else really good. But I am going to Botanimate. That's the game plan in this matchup. The question here is, how do I want to do this? Battletech is a good card here. I would definitely Roar if his Gargoyle wasn't right there. And I'm still even kind of considering it, but it's just a bad play. I don't think I can. I don't think in good conscience I can make that play. I think I will level the Tactician, and at least that way I'm still pushing through a lot of damage with the Thundersaur. So if he blocks with that Gargoyle, he has to take 15 to do it, and I get a dude on board. Whereas if I had done the Roar, it's pretty much the same without the guy on board and without leveling the Tactician. And look at that, I got another Thundersaur. So that is quite promising. Thanks, Imperetti. Bought the Gargoyle. I mean, that was certainly a possibility, and maybe I should have considered that more, actually. My thought was, I do not want his Thundersaur to win. And I wanted my Botanimates online. As we saw last game, not having them online was a really big problem, actually. So I'm going to play my own Thundersaur. And then I think I Sentinel here and hope that he doesn't have a Roar 2. I'm not sure if he even has one in his deck. I don't think so. Yep, doesn't look like it. So that's good. So he has, oh, he's not going to Roar 2 anyway. He's on player level 1. If he double Roars here, he's in really good shape. I'm assuming he's not going to double Roar here. Even a single Roar would be a really good play here. be a bunch of damage through with a Thundersaur. Those Weirwoods would be really tough. The Sapling would now trade off with my Thundersaur. I think that would be a good play for him. On my turn, if things go well, I could see myself going Tactician 3, Patriarch, or just going Patriarch, and trying to take over the game with big dudes. I do have a big life advantage. I guess it's going away to some degree, but I'll still have the advantage. Ooh, that's interesting. I think I Basher that Squadron. I don't really have to. It's underleveled. But if I do, he actually lives. And he's leveled. So I'm going to do that. Maybe this is the wrong play. I kind of like it. A reasonable body in the Basher. I got a Weirwood leveled. I got that Arc Flight off. Ooh, yeah, there's the Thundersaur. Battle of the Thundersaurs continues. The beauty of this one is, depending on what he does, I could be able to get really, really greedy and play like Thundersaur in 4, and then Matrix Warden in 3. And I think I can. I think I can get away with that play. No, actually, that's not the greedy play I wanted to make. The greedy play I wanted to make was to go Thundersaur Roar so I could kill his Patriarch right off. I don't think I can be that greedy, though. Which is not taking much damage. But I actually think I want him to live. The more I think about that. I don't want him to die, because he's doing almost no damage. So I think I do want him to live, so I'll go here. Yeah, so I'll do this, and then Gargoyle in the middle. I have a reasonable board. Hopefully I can ignore his Thundersaur, and awful things won't happen to me. That might not be the case, we'll see. But my Thundersaur will be pretty big here. Sentinel's kind of hard to deal with, but my Thundersaur will be minimum 8. Could be bigger. I might roar depending on what he does. I mean, if he's just forced to block the Gargoyle and the Weirwood, and a roar really helps that situation, and all I do is take 9 from a Sentinel and his Thundersaur is pointless, then a roar might be really good right here. I might just do something like Sentinel Roar, and then that way hopefully I end up trading off on my next turn with the Sentinel in 5. So things are potentially good here, but he also has me set up for some sort of blowout scenario. Ooh, yeah, that was really good. That was really good for him. So I might have misplayed that. It might have been better for me to stick him in front of that 4-1 and just go like Matrix Warden and not get too greedy. I definitely played that greedily, and it might have burned me too much. The nice thing is I can play Sentinel in 5, Roar, and I have the Gargoyle and Sentinel probably trading off for his guys, but the board is much less favorable for me. Things were looking very good a moment ago. That's unfortunate. So he had a very good response there. Just when things looked like they might be pulling away, he was able to rein them back in. And now, clearly losing, so I need a decent hand. I did not get it. So we'll see what we can do here. Yep, so I think it's probably a mistake on my part. I don't think I should have played so greedy. I think I should have played the Thundersaur in 3, buffed it with the Matrix Warden, killed his guy, had a 4/24 that was going to be very hard for him to handle, and then just kind of move on from there. Got a little greedy, and I think I got burned. Here becomes can I just ignore what he's doing and put threats on the board, or is it better to Botanimate the Thundersaur? I'm actually going to Botanimate it because we're ending level 2. This will give me 2 answers to find for that other Thundersaur in case he keeps buffing him, because we all know that's what he's trying to do. This is the Thundersaur battle. That's a good hand if he's not able to do something crazy with that Thundersaur. Problem, of course, is I stuck that Sentinel there to get the blowout, so that's that's looking like a little bit of a dicey play now. And the sapling I gave him wins. So congratulations, Holy. Those are some good games. I knew that was gonna be a Thundersaur battle, and that first game you definitely won the battle of the Thundersaurs. I think game 2, I got a little too greedy there. I think I could have had a better shot if I had not played the Thundersaur in 4 instead of 3. I mean, he did have the perfect response to it at that moment, and if he hadn't, I think that Thundersaur might have run away with the game. That's what I gambled, basically is what happened. I gambled, and I came up empty. The safe move would have been 3. But thanks for watching, guys. Sorry I couldn't do better than 4th, but I got 10,000 gold out of it, so that's not bad. 10,000 gold and a legendary for 2 weekends of fun. I think I'll take that. So good luck in the finals between Bludex and Xtoff. Should be an interesting finals. And so thanks for watching, guys. And well, I think I should just call the stream since the finals are going to start. I don't think anyone wants to watch me play random games instead of the finals. So I will see you guys on Monday. It's a holiday, so that means I don't have to teach on Monday, what I normally would. So I'll take a little bit of time to stream, and we can hang out, and we can reminisce about my time in the top 8 when I didn't win. But thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.